Welcome back to Movie Bites. Today, I will review a psychological thriller movie from 2010, titled Shutter Island. Two federal marshals, Teddy Daniels and Chuck All, are sent to a hospital, located on Shutter Island on Boston Harbor, to investigate the disappearance of a patient, Rachel Solando. During their first interaction, Chuck asks about Teddy's family and knows that his wife Dolores Schnall was killed during a fire at their apartment. Arriving there, Deputy McPherson receives them and tells them about different wards, including Ward C, which houses the most dangerous criminals. He tells them that Ward C is off limits for anyone without permission from the head doctor, John Corley. In the doctor's office, Teddy questions him about Rachel Solando. John tells him that she was brought in after she drowned her 3 children in the lake, while her husband was serving in Normandy. During the conversation, Teddy starts experiencing headaches, but John offers him medicine for his comfort. The marshals are later taken to Rachel's room, but they can't find anything noticeable except for a note. Dr. Corley recognizes her handwriting but has no idea about what she tried to explain. Teddy then requests to have a look at the staff records. Dr. Corley declines his request, but he agrees to call a meeting. In the common room after dinner, while searching the island, Teddy spots some caves on a lighthouse, but McPherson tells him there are no chances of Rachel being there, as it's impossible to reach the caves, while the lighthouse solely serves as the sewage treatment facility. Their meeting with the staff also does not prove to be a big help. They only find out about Dr. Sheehan, who is Rachel's primary doctor. Teddy requests a meeting with him but is told he had already left for a vacation. At night, when it starts to rain, Dr. Corley takes them to his mansion. Teddy once again requests access to staff files and argues with Dr. Corley as he refuses to comply. After coming back from the mansion, he keeps thinking about Rachel's escape, but cannot figure out how she did it without any help. Later, while asleep, he has disturbing dreams about Dolores, who tells him that Rachel is still there, because she never actually left. She mentions another guy, Andrew Ladies, asking Teddy to find him as well. The next morning, he has an investigation session with other patients where one of them writes a secret note in his diary. He asks her about Andrew Ladies but she denies knowing anything about him. Chuck later asks Teddy about Andrew because he was constantly trying to find some information about him. Teddy says that he was the maintenance man at his apartment and was responsible for setting up the fire that killed his family. He says that Andrew was mentally unstable. Both marshals go to the cemetery in search of Rachel, where Teddy shows him the note from the patient, asking them to run. As they are forced to take refuge inside an old building due to a thunderstorm, Chuck asks if Teddy is here to kill Andrew, but he says he has already killed many people and does not want to include another person on the list. Teddy remembers his operation for the liberation of concentration camps, where his team killed several German troops who were responsible for multiple deaths. He also reveals that he has been investigating Auschwitz, which is believed to be a place where psychological experiments are performed. After listening to him, Chuck realizes it can be a trap, as he was given the same case he was already trying to get involved in. He also tells him that there is no way any patient can escape through such high security and the entire incident seems to be planned to bring him to the island. They realize they are in serious trouble, but before they can figure out anything, McPherson arrives and takes them back to the building. They go to Dr. Corley's mansion to talk to him, where Teddy hears the discussion and learns there are 66 patients in different wards. He believes Rachel pointed out to patient 67, who is yet to be disclosed, but Teddy gets surprised as Dr. Corley tells him that Rachel has been found. They are taken to her room for the investigation, but she has no clue about where she went. After meeting her, they come back to Dr. Corley's office, where Teddy has another migraine attack and is forced to take the medicine. At night his nightmares continue, when he sees his wife as well as Rachel along with her deceased children. When he wakes up, Chuck tells him about a failure in the backup generator, which made everyone furious. After learning that the electronic security systems have been compromised, they decide to sneak into Ward C for further investigation. While looking around the place, he spots many dangerous criminals locked up in their cells. He also spots a patient who warns him about Chuck, while asking him not to believe anyone at this place. He also claims that there are some experiments going on in the lighthouse and fears he might be another test subject. He tells Teddy that he will not be able to escape from the island. As he is talking to the patient, Chuck arrives and tells him to go back to their ward before anyone finds out about them. Upon his suggestion, they decide to go to the lighthouse, but realize they have taken the wrong route and might have to go back to the main building. As they are thinking about the solution, Chuck tells him about finding an intake document about patient 67, but Teddy ignores it, thinking he is just trying to distract him. After arguing over whether they should go down or not, Teddy goes alone. He cannot make it down due to a high tide and is forced to return back, but there are no signs of Chuck anywhere. He then sees Chuck's body near the water, but realizes it was just an illusion of the rocks. Trying to find Chuck, he spots a cave where he comes across a woman, who is apparently the real Rachel Solando. She tells him she was one of the leading doctors before coming to the facility. She discovered experiments with psychotropic medication here, in an attempt to develop mind control techniques. Teddy questions her about her children, but she reveals it's just a story and she have no kids. She reveals if they can succeed in reprogramming the mind, they can turn humans into emotionless creatures who can aid in executing horrific crimes. She tells him he won't be able to leave the island and asks if he had any tragedy in his life. When Teddy tells her about his wife's accident, Rachel suspects they will use the incident to prove him insane, so he can be kept in here. Upon her question, Teddy confirms having nightmares and migraine attacks, to which she reveals they have been giving him drugs through his food, drinks, medicine, and cigarettes. He might start developing symptoms in the next few hours. He asks her about the lighthouse. Rachel confirms Dr. Corley and his colleagues have been doing brain surgeries there. After the discussion, she asks him to leave as she cannot risk her location. He assures Rachel to take her out of this place, but she tells him it's impossible because they control the ferries, and no one can leave without their consent. After coming back to the main area, he is picked up by a security guard, who is revealed to be the victim of these experiments, as he keeps talking in favor of the violence. Coming back, he asks Dr. Corley about Chuck, but he denies his presence and tells him that he came alone to the island. The doctor then asks if he wants to leave this place, as Rachel has been found. They can send him back by the next ferry. After satisfying him with his conversation, Teddy tries to escape. He thinks they might have taken Chuck to the lighthouse, so he decides to go there. He distracts the guards by setting Dr. Corley's car on fire. He manages to sneak onto the island, startle the guard, and takes his gun. He sneaks out to get to the lighthouse but gets shocked to see Dr. Corley already there. After inviting him to have a chat with him, Dr. Corley calls Dr. Sheehan, who is apparently back from his vacation. When Teddy confronts him about the drugs while explaining his encounter with Rachel, Dr. Corley denies her existence and explains that his condition is due to withdrawal from the medicine, which they have been giving him for the last 2 years. The doctor also reveals the names Edward Daniel and Rachel Solando are the anagrams of Ladies and Dolores, while the girl appearing in his dreams is actually his daughter, Rachel. He tells him that he is patient number 67, whose real name is Andrew Ladies, but he does not want anyone to know this name. Dr. Sheehan arrives in the office, but Teddy gets shocked to see Chuck, who is revealed to be his primary doctor. Seeing his disbelief, Dr. Corley tells him they were playing along with his self-made story because they wanted to take him out of his insanity. Dr. Sheehan said that his wife, Dolores, was mentally disturbed and always thinking of suicide, and everyone warned him against marrying her. But he didn't listen to them, and he killed her because she drowned his 3 children in the lake behind the house. While listening to them, Teddy passes out. He wakes up in the ward, surrounded by Dr. Corley, Dr. Sheehan, and the rest of the staff. When questioned, he satisfies the doctors, saying he was serving his sentence for killing Dolores. Dr. Corley warns him this will be his last chance to accept their version of the truth, otherwise they will have to lobotomize him. Later, Teddy relaxes on the hospital grounds with Dr. Sheehan, but calls him Chuck again, saying they must leave the island. Dr. Sheehan says he is still living in his story and signals to Dr. Corley to tell him there is no improvement in his condition. Teddy is taken away to be lobotomized. Before leaving peacefully, Teddy asks Chuck if it would be worse to live as a monster or to die as a good man. As he starts walking away, Chuck calls him Teddy, but he does not respond. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel. It helps us a lot.